instruction or information, you are welcome to ask the evacuation personnel at the end of the safety briefing. And if your child is participating in a Camp Carnival activity when an emergency arises, you must first go to your cabin, collect your child's life jacket, and proceed immediately to your muster station. The youth counselors will then escort the children to their assigned muster station where they will meet their parents. For this reason, it is important that your child wear the wristband provided to you at all times. In the event of an abandoned ship order, any remaining children will be escorted to the lifeboats by the youth staff and will be under constant supervision. For our guests requiring special assistance, we have a special needs team dedicated to assisting you in the event of an actual emergency. This team will accompany you through the entire process from cabin to lifeboat embarkation. And all guests must bear in mind that no suitcases, bags, parcels, or luggage of any kind can be taken to the muster stations or the lifeboats, as this would reduce the space available for all of our guests. It is also important to keep calm so everyone can hear the instructions from the officers in charge. In the unlikely event that it should be thought necessary to abandon ship, the lifeboats are already at the embarkation station's port and starboard sides. Sick people, women, and children will have priority of boarding, and members of the same family will board the same lifeboat. A qualified seaman is legally in command of each lifeboat, and you must follow his or her instructions at all times. All lifeboats are provided with an adequate supply of water, food, and first aid equipment, as well as other emergency fittings and equipment necessary for the proper handling of the boat. The lifeboats are constructed with built-in buoyancy in such a way as to be unsinkable even when flooded, and there are adequate supplies of lifeboats and life rafts on board for all guests and crew. In addition to the personnel in charge of the lifeboats, who are all trained not only in emergency evacuation procedures, but also in the use of firefighting equipment and man-overboard rescue operations, there are specially trained fire squads on board whose duty it is to prevent or fight any fire incident. To assist them in these extremely important duties, we ask all passengers who have balcony cabins to refrain from leaving any personal items, including towels and clothing, on the balcony. Ladies and gentlemen, the most dangerous event aboard any ship is fire. And for this reason, we ask all smokers to only extinguish your cigarettes in the disposals provided for this purpose in some public areas. We also ask you to never throw a lit cigarette overboard or flick hot ash overboard. Such items could blow back into the ship and start a fire. You will find many of the ship's areas have been designated as non-smoking. These include all the ship's restaurants and food service areas, many of the public lounges, Promenade Deck 9, and areas of the open decks, including all of City Sports Park on Sun Deck 14. This is a very high wind area. Please also note that smoking is strictly forbidden while walking in guest corridors and especially in all elevators. Never leave smoking materials unattended. To prevent fire on board, we must request that no time should anyone use unauthorized heating appliances which contain electrical heating coils such as copper mug warmers or clothing irons in the cabins. And also any object with an open flame, such as a candle, is strictly forbidden. Please note that for the safety of the ship, for the safety of all of our guests on board, and for the safety of the entire crew, any such items found in the cabins will be confiscated. We at Carnival Cruise Lines are completely committed to the safety of our passengers and crew and to preserving the environment. And our goal is to be the industry leader in these endeavors, so we'd like to reiterate that throwing any items overboard is strictly forbidden. And just a couple of quick important safety reminders. Number one, for all of our guests on board, but specifically for all of our junior cruisers, we have about 300 kids on board this cruise. Please make sure you never run on a moving ship. Always walk wherever you go. In fact, it's probably a great idea to hold the handrails as you go up and down the stairwells. And please keep in mind, once we do set sail and head down the St. Johns River, there are times when we do list back and forth. So again, please be aware of the handrails at all times. And I know this goes without saying, but please keep all hands out of elevator doors that are closing. Please remain where you are and await further instructions. Thank you.